Hey everyone, my name is Marcel. I'm one of the co-organizers of the AI Song Contest, and welcome to our community session. With these community sessions, we try to support our participants and people that might not know how to get started with responsible AI use in the songwriting process by having tool developers and artists showcase their tools and workflows. On the 24th of July, we were joined by Julian and MJ from Lemonaide, and they demoed their amazing tool which helps spark creativity by generating stylized MIDI and audio samples. It's an amazing way to get ideas and inspirations for your projects. So let's dive in and enjoy.
So the first thing I'll show you is this is within our Lemonade application. So this is a desktop app and also a web browser version is available as well. But the idea with this is you can see in this left-hand panel, we have all of the majority of our AI models so far. So Seeds is just our first AI melody engine that we built and released into the world. And it was interesting because after we got some traction from just real customers, we realized how can we actually make the artist as front and center in the middle of this AI boom as possible. So then we dreamed up the idea of Collab Club. So as Julian mentioned earlier, Collab Club is this idea of working directly with human producers. It's funny calling them human producers, but you guys know what I mean. Working with real creators and not just getting consent to build an algorithm with them, but literally having them send music from their catalog or having them specifically make melodic ideas to be fed into an AI engine that we built that would be able to actually stylistically represent what they sound like melodically. So what's cool is all of our producers, I guess, I don't know if you guys are familiar with a lot of the hip hop going on in the US, but long story short, a lot of these producers are some superstars in that space. Lex Luger is one of the most recent models that we launched. He's known as the godfather of trap music. So to be able to partner with him and build a trap AI model was a dream because he's made songs like "Hard in the Paint" by Waka Flocka as maybe 10 years ago. Y'all may have known that song. But what's cool is as you even play with this AI model, there's sometimes melodies that are outputted where you're like, wow, like it does take me back to like 10 years ago to really authentically capture his style. Kato on the track, who's another Billboard charting trap producer. Kavi, more in the soul and R&B space, another Billboard charting producer, and Mantra, who's a pop style producer, and he's worked with folks like Dua Lipa and things of that nature. So that being said, now that you have an overview of these artist-based models, let me go ahead and do the fun part, which is generating, and let's listen to some melodies live. Yep. So this one's a very simple, heavy chord based generation. And what's interesting here is, of course, as your point earlier, Diamond, we've got wave and MIDI, which we also agree is so important to have both for the full controllability. But what's interesting here is sometimes you'll hear a generation and it sounds okay. And the only thing that you need to change is the sound to really get it into a style that you'd be inspired by, as I was mentioning earlier. But I'll go ahead and play a couple other generations and then we'll change the sound as well. Yeah, nice. So of course you can get a feel of like the experience when you're changing the sound in the app before you get inspired. I still haven't found the melody yet within Mantra, so let's keep going until we find that beautiful melody. I spoke too soon. Hey. Yep. Okay, sweet. So the second you have a melody that you like, the beautiful part is you go ahead and favorite it. And just like many tools that you're familiar with, you can go ahead and drag it directly into your digital audio workstation, whether you want the MIDI or you want the audio, of course. And yeah, it's great to be able to have both options because if you don't have any great sound VSTs, for example, all of our MIDI are powered by a very amazing VST engine called Scorch. So it's almost like allowing the producer that may be more of a beginner to still have ready-made loops. But if you still want the individual notes to use your own VSTs, we have the MIDI as well. And we actually have a bridge, of course, for the more advanced producers. If you want to connect this directly to your digital audio workstation, you can just use your own VSTs to power the MIDI. But that gives you a feel of one of the models in here. I'll go ahead and show you. So, like I mentioned earlier, Mantra is a pop style producer. Now, let me show you Kato on the track, who's going to be more of a trap style producer. He's based in Atlanta, Georgia. So you should definitely hear the different vibe as soon as I hit generate. Nice. Yep. Hey. Yeah. And like I kid you not, like even the kid in me as a rapper immediately knows that's the melody, throw some drums on it, and we can like actually get cooking up with a beat. But let's listen to a couple more as we're going through. Yep. So you get a feel of what's going on here, but something we're super proud of is not only is this again partnered directly with the culture, meeting with these artists, explaining how AI works, and then having wonderful people like Julian on our team actually building these models with them. These weren't like simple grab data from their catalog and build a model. It took months to build these models in terms of like actually running a training job, generating some files, allowing them to hear it, and then having them push us to give the feedback. And you know, maybe at one point Julian can share about the journey over some drinks about like how brutal that can be of turning qualitative feedback from a human artist into actually making an AI model learn what they're trying to say. Like when Cato pushed us a lot, where you see these little bass notes down here, that's what captures what he calls his bounce. And originally, his bounce was missing in his model. And it's so funny. As a human, you kind of get it, but how do you have the challenging, or how do you take that and address the challenging problem of turning that into code and into making sure an AI model can learn? And that's why, again, I'm grateful to have folks like Julian on my team to make that happen. So that gives you a feel, though, of Collab Club. And the thing that we're most proud of here, honestly, or at least that I am, is the fact that we actually do a revenue share with all of these artists. We're equal business owners in terms of every sale of a model. It's 50-50 cut between Lemonaide and the artist. And that's something that we've always believed in. It's not just about keeping the artist in the spotlight. It's also about making sure they can stay compensated in the middle of this AI boom. But that being said, for those that are, wanting to get even deeper into the digital audio workstation, we're going to jump into a product called Spawn here. So Spawn, as Julian mentioned earlier, this is a product we co-created with one of our really good partner friends, Software Audio, where we brought our MIDI engine into a sound instrument VST, and then we co-created this unique user experience to really allow a creator to have the experience of having, like, if they are inspired by a loop, they can just get started, or they can have all of the individual control you can imagine within music. So I'll go ahead and play a melody here that Spawn had created, and then I'll give you a feel. You know what? Let's do this live. So And by the way, this is actually a very early access version of our build. It's still like internal alpha. So there's a very good chance when I hit spawn, it crashes. So just prefacing with that. But this product is a generally available out product. The older version is out right now. It's got over 10,000 users that are using it on a monthly basis. But long story short, let me go ahead and generate with this alpha version and pray this doesn't crash here. Okay, awesome. So what's interesting, you can see the sound name is video player. So you're going to have video game vibes here. Whew. Now let's change the entire sound set. Let's say I like the melody layer and I just want to change the chords. I feel like the bass isn't coming out as much, so let's turn this up. Let's change the bass. Okay, I like that melody, I know. So let me go ahead and drag this in. But what I want actually to change this to be a piano. So let me just change this here. And let's hear it back in context with the digital audio workstation. Nice. Okay. So the second I get a vibe that I like, again, it's all the experimentation. This is a very cool thing that we've created called the experiment pad. So again, maybe as a rapper, I finally have the loop that I like, but how do I manipulate it even more? Because the sound set I like, but I just want to change things like maybe the pitch, the octave, just some sound settings, but I don't necessarily know how to get too deep. Check this out. Whew. So you can get a feel of the fun of just like experimenting until you find a sound that you like. But the moment that you do, let's go ahead and create live. So let's hear another melody back. I like that sound set a lot, but let's actually grab a different melody. And by the way, when I said you have like the deepest level of control, check this out. You literally can come in here and you can change all of the instrumental individual sound sets. So if you want to change the melody, the chord, the bass layer, if you want to come in here and actually edit the MIDI notes, you have all the individual, again, granular control. And then you even have the point of being able to change, let's see, which panel is it in? Oh, we might be missing this from this UI UX, but there's a very easy way to change the individual instrument sounds with just a couple of knobs as well, which is oh, here we go. Yeah, so you can like change the distortion in here. Whew. Yep. Nice. I want to pitch this up a little bit. Check this out. All right, we're cooking up live here. Let's bring in the snare. Yep. 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 get a feel of like how easy it is to cook up. And the last thing I want to show you guys with Spawn is what's interesting here is this is actually, like I said, I grew up a rapper. So let me actually show you guys something. This will be fun to do live. So let's unmute all these layers. So this is a song that I made. Actually, this entire project was co-created with these AI models I talked about at the beginning of the call. So let me like play you a little snippet of this so you can get a feel. This is a song that I made called Diamonds a couple years ago. And I'll play back the original and then we'll play around with it. Light it up, 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 and let it burn down. Run it up, sum it up, coming up from the mud, warm blood, pour it up and let it fall. Listen, moves I'm making got me feeling like a champion. Like whoa, ain't been sleeping in a minute, need an ambient. Like two, all this pressure making diamonds. Now I'm shining, got a light inside my soul, and I won't ever try to hide it. So you can get a feel for it there. But what's very interesting here is the ability to like create with my own music that I've already made. So let me go ahead and mute all the melody layers in here. Light it up, light it up, light it up, light it up, light it up. Right? So now we just got the drums. And then check this out. I grabbed this melody from Spawn earlier. And check out like just completely co-creating with my own music here. Light it up, 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 and let it burn down. Run it up, sum it up, coming up from the mud, warm blood, pour it up and let it fall. Listen, moves I'm making got me feeling like a champion. Like whoa, ain't been sleeping in a minute, need an ambient. Like two, all this pressure making diamonds. Now I'm shining, got a light inside my soul, and I won't ever try to hide it. Pressing snooze, now my family got no problems, cause the checks are clearing. Used to struggle every other, but that's disappearing. Back in the day, no takeout. Now I take them all to a steakhouse. Money complex, need a breakdown. Mama sit back, take a break now. Light it up, 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 and let it burn down. So yeah, you can kind of get a vibe there of what it's like to actually not only create music from scratch, but also use these tools to reimagine some of your old music or whatever it may be. So yeah, that's overall. I think the majority of what I wanted to show y'all today. Julian, anything else that I should show or anything you want to jump in and talk about?
I think that's it. I also am conscious we have to keep ourselves within time. I don't want Marcel to be upset with me, but no, that was great. And yeah, I think we can wrap it there.